And the king of Saturday night, Jonathan Ross, joins us now. Hi, Jonathan.
Hello, and thank you for inviting me on. It's very nice, especially with free lunch thrown in.
You're having a lovely time, aren't you?
I've got prawn in my teeth, but that was delicious. I tell you what, I think he knows how to cook.
He really does.
Not bad, He's got a future, that style, hasn't
And
he?
it wasn't too spicy, was it? It was
Lovely.
just right.
Just right.
The Masked Singer, we just love it. And you on the panel, you're iconic. Your guesses are all over the place.
It's great fun to do. It really is great fun. And you know, of course, it's great fun to be on the other side.
Oh, it was amazing.
People love it. And that's what's lovely about it, is the team are so nice and they look after everyone.
They are.
Everyone who takes their mask off, they always said, I just had the best time.
Yeah.
So that's why it's lovely to be part of that family and be doing that show. And it's great fun to watch it and see it happening.
Always lovely to do a show as well that you know, generations watch at home, and
Yeah.
it's a proper
Well,
kind of old-school Saturday night show.
It's a first for me, really, because I've never done stuff before which really had family audiences.
Yeah.
And it's so lovely, you know, like I now meet families out with little kids, and of course the only thing they know before is the Masked Singer. And they think I'm the silly man from the Masked Singer, which of course is fair enough. So it is a really lovely thing. And seeing the kids in the audience, they get so excited for the characters they love, which is why Bigfoot is still in, I think. Because Bigfoot, let's face it, of the three left in it, Bigfoot isn't the best singer out of those three. Matter of fact, Bigfoot wasn't the best singer in the whole competition. And yet the way Bigfoot works the crowds and gets the kids all excited, they keep voting for him.
Yeah.
That's the thing, you could be a really good singer, but you go out quite early. I mean, Kiala Settle as Airfryer, her voice is incredible.
I mean, yeah, Dionne Warwick really early on as well. Her voice is incredible. But then a lot of it is steered by the audience. The audience decide first, and then we have to choose who we send home from who they've put in the bottom two. And so already the hard work's been done for us, and we just think, who do we want to hear more from? You know, and who are we more intrigued about finding out? So, but it is a weird show in that respect, because it isn't really a singing competition, because you don't have to be that great a singer to make it to the end, as Bigfoot has proven.
It must be nice for you as well to do a show that isn't. You're not the focal point of it, and by that I mean when you're doing your own chat show, pretty much every other show you've done, you're the pivot, right? So you've got to make sure everyone's happy.
You're sort of driving the show,
right?
Yeah,
so it must be quite nice just to.
It's lovely, especially at my age. Sometimes during the Masked Singer, I have a little nap.
When do you do that? Underneath the desk?
When people are singing. I did actually fall asleep years ago. Once I was interviewing someone, I fell asleep while I was interviewing someone.
No, you didn't?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yes, I am serious.
Good job it wasn't live.
It wasn't live. It was downstairs. It was like not in a studio. It was downstairs in a very hot room, and he was someone I knew from years, and he thought I was doing it as a joke. Because while he was answering the questions, you know, we do that thing where you're going...
You were that tired.
And after I had to say, no.
Can you remember who it was?
Yeah, it was Charlie Hickson.
That's terrible. That is hilarious.
Speaking of, Charlie obviously would be a great guest on The Masked Singer. Speaking of which, you've got Rob Brydon here for the final tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, Rob's a guest panellist. He's with us on there, and it's great fun because he's so funny.
Yeah.
And you know he's going to kind of deliver when they come to him. So, and he kind of gives me a hard time as well, which is fine. I like that. So he's great. And we've had so many great guests. Having Jennifer Saunders on was great, especially as the person revealed was someone she'd worked with for years and she didn't get it.
Yeah, brilliant.
And Lorraine Kelly, that was a bit of a shock when she was literally on The Masked Singer.
And I thought Lorraine could sing quite well. It was quite good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why we were fooled. I don't mean to be rude, but, you know what I mean? I didn't think of her as having that good a voice.
Yeah.
And she could have been a singer.
And the chemistry between the judges now is just so good, isn't it?
That's because we all hate each other.
You don't. You can tell
It's really weird because we really do. One of the fun things about doing the show, when we start again, we'll be doing a new series later in the year for next year. When we get together again, it's so lovely because it is like just a bunch of friends getting back together who've been off doing stuff, and we keep in touch all the way through the year as well.
Lovely. I think we've got a shot of Rob for this weekend. Do we have to take a look?
Are you excited to be here for our grand final?
I couldn't be more excited, and your trousers have taken it to a whole new level.
They really have. Rob, you've had a #1 hit before. Do you think that's going to help with this evening?
You know how it is, Rita. When you've had a #1,
right,
you understand the music business. Have you ever had a #1, Jonathan?
No, but I had a very successful #2 just before the show started. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
That was great. That was pure Bob Mughouse, that one.
Well, it's from the old school.
So who do you want to win? Oh, you're not allowed to say.
Well, I can say, I mean, the thing is, of all three of them in the final, I would be happy whichever one wins. I know, of course, I'm not allowed to say, but because they're all there for different reasons. I mean, you know, like, obviously, Puana can sing amazingly and has shown such range. Cricket can sing amazingly as well. What a singer and what great moves. And Bigfoot, not a great singer, I said, but such a lovely, fun performer to watch.
Yeah.
So whoever wins, I mean, I think people will be pleased and surprised with the result.
I do think Cricket is Lamar, I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, I really do. His voice is so deep and so lovely.
Just talk about the chat shows back this weekend. So, and actually, I sort of wanted to ask you about Steve Wright, because in the same way that Steve sort of pioneered that zoo of format on the radio. You know, he was such a great guy to be around, wasn't he, Steve?
Yeah, there wasn't a nicer man. And everyone said that about him. That's what's interesting, you know, the plays that's come out from him afterwards. Because every time you went in there, you knew there was no side to Steve.
No.
There was no snark. He wasn't judging what you're doing. He just wanted whatever project you had coming out that you were there for, he wanted it to do well. And he was engaged with the show, he was fun, and he also, you sensed he loved his audience.
Yeah.
You know, and that was a genuine bond he had with them, and they loved him back.
But we feel that with you, don't we?
Well, I was going to say, because he completely, and he did that thing where, you know, he used to go over to the States and he'd drive around in his car and listen to radio. But you were sort of the first TV show host to bring that kind of Letterman-style thing over here.
Well, when I was in America, I'd signed up for something called, there was a Museum of Broadcasting. This is long before the internet, where you just see clips. And if you wanted to watch old talk shows, you couldn't really find them, but the Museum of Broadcasting had them all. So I used to go, when I was on holiday, I'd go and spend a day there, and you would select a show from, like, the 50s or 60s, and you would see it happening. There was a machine, but an arm would come along and pick out a VHS tape and insert it into the thing, and you could watch, like, Johnny Carson from 61 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I still love the form of the talk show. I love seeing it being reinvented in twists. I love seeing the traditional ones. I still love seeing the old ones. So it's something I've always loved doing, and I'm thrilled and happy that I'm still allowed to do it.
That's great.
And you're really good at it as well. You're good at...
Not everyone agrees with Alison, but it's very nice of you to say so.
Because you always prep. You genuinely love film, don't you?
I love film, but also I'm genuinely interested in the people on. You know, I'm normally interested in what's going on in their life. Like this week on the show, we got Paloma Faith on, who's been on before, and I love Paloma Faith. And she's an amazing singer. I think sometimes we forget how good she is. And her new album is incredible. And a lot of the songs on the album, most of them, are based on this recent breakup she's had. She split up from her partner of 5 years, and she's so honest in the songs, but also she's so funny and honest and vulnerable about it on the show. You know, and I almost felt like she kept beating herself up about this. She called it a failed relationship. I'm saying, no, it's not.
She talked about it on the sofa, didn't she? Yeah.
She's so lovely, isn't she? So she was great on it. Jack Whitehall was really fun. KSI was on, who told one extraordinary story that we had to cut out of the show.
Oh, gosh, what was it? Tell us that.
I can't tell you. I shouldn't have really said that. I'll tell you afterwards. But he was great, and you realise that YouTube generation...
Phenomenal.
Such a phenomenal
level.
You know, and he's, like, famous all over the world, whereas older people might not necessarily know who he is, but he's such a charming, likeable
Lovely
character.
guy,
He's a great guest,
All the kids love him. And we've got the
Oscars. So what's your take on... I mean, it's great we're doing it on ITV.
Well, ITV have got the Oscars, so it's free to view, because it's been on Sky for years, so you had to be a Sky subscriber to get it. But now it's free on air on ITV1 and ITVX, and we're going live with it about 10:30, I think, in the evening. So
How's
we'll be
that
doing
working?
the pre-show.
Like, you're going to be watching it live?
We'll be watching it from one of the studios here.
Yeah.
And we'll be watching it, and we'll see the red carpet stuff. We've got someone out there reporting on the red carpet. You'll see all the outfits, you'll hear all the interviews as people come in. Then when the show starts, and when they go to commercial break, you'll come back to us in the studio. I've got some great guests lined up. Not allowed to say who they are yet, I'm afraid.
That's a shame.
I just can't say it. But they are, and we'll be talking about, you know, what we think of the results, what we think of the winners, what we think of the reaction, the speeches, and also who knows what's going to happen tonight. Because the thing about the Oscars is,
Bit
as
of
we know,
drama.
well, 2 years ago, the Will Smith moment, you know, you get things like that happen on a fairly regular basis. So who knows?
Who could have predicted
fascinating
that?
wasn't it? Because, like you said, like Chris Rock told this kind of like okay joke, and then it was just, and then it was just this slow walk. And I remember just reading in my notes, you go, "What floor manager is going to stop Will Smith when he walks on set?"
But I thought it was a sketch.
Right.
At the time, I thought it was, this is such
I think
a
Chris
sketch.
Rock thought it was a sketch as well.
It was so odd. I mean, it was just, there was nothing you could have predicted about it. And also the fallout afterwards, you think, why did it even happen? It's so strange.
I heard you have the best dressing rooms ever. Is it true?
No, when I do The Masked Singer, when we do The Masked Singer, we do it in a fairly kind of like, very sort of like, not Spartan, but basic studio out in Hemel Hempstead. And so you're in like a porter cabin, and we're there for a couple of weeks solid, so I always try and make it a bit more like home. So I will take you on the first day, I'll bring in a record player, a coffee machine, some posters, a comic rack, video games.
Bring a
chair.
van.
I'll bring a chair with a thing like that. eye mask. I'm in there relaxing the whole time. Well, outside, you know, they're all getting their... They've got their glam squad to make them look good. And I realise now no glam squad in the world can make me look good. So I'm just lying there and I'm thinking, you know what, I might as well spend the time with a coffee and a movie.
Brilliant.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Lovely.
My pleasure.
Masked Singer final tomorrow, ITV 7, and then Jonathan Ross show starts tomorrow at 9:50. ITV1, ITVX. The Oscars coverage starts on 9 o'clock, ITV1 and X on Sunday.
9 o'clock? Oh, I better cancel my early appointment. I thought it was 10:30.
Thank you, mate. Loose women.